Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about The Flash, Season 3, Episode 16. It's called Into the Speed Force. Full spoilers for the episode as always. So, Barry gets out of the Speed Force, the end.
This is a classic case of it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah, this is exactly, very accurate. This is Barry right away from the get-go. Crap, while he's in the Speed Force, I need to go get him. I need to play the hero and go get him. So he does. And he encounters lots of sort of call it Speed Force avatars.
Yeah, it's obviously we got some last time when he went in.
Yeah, this time they all take the face of people who sacrificed themselves in the name of doing something heroic. In relation to Barry, Captain Cold's a bit strenuous, but sure.
Yeah, I mean I'm not sure it's really in relation to Barry, but
They bring up that he inspired him, like
I'm not sure I buy it. That's all.
whatever. They wanted the third dead person, so they got Cold. Which made me think actually, like he signed that whole he's a series regular for like the whole CW verse, like he can be in all four shows. We're getting quite late in this season now,
Yeah.
like across the board, and he's shown up like what
Four times.
if that.
So the couple in Legends.
He showed up, yeah, he showed up in like Mixed Head like twice for two small scenes.
Yeah, and I think did we not have him in? Was he in one of the Flash ones as well?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I feel like he was in a Flash one before this.
Oh, maybe one more, but like
Yeah.
because I remember you arguing with me about Christmas. He could be in tons of episodes after Christmas.
And I stand by that. At the time, he could have been.
At this point, even if he's in every episode of every show that's left, he
It
still
won't fill it up, yeah.
he still wouldn't have done 22 episodes.
No, okay, that's fair.
So I don't know what they were paying him for all this, but
I guess they're future-proofing it. Get the contract there for then it's ready if they want it for next year.
maybe they've got plans, long-term plans. It's just fair. So he meets Eddie in the Speed Force, then he meets what's his face, Ronnie, and then he meets Captain Cold. Hey, it's been a long time since we've seen Ronnie. At least with Eddie, we've been speculating that people have been secretly Eddie for the last 2 years.
See, this is my question. Does this make it more or less likely that Eddie is Savitar?
I think it's dead even. I don't think it alters it one way or the other.
Fair enough. I don't know. I feel like they made an effort to remind us that hey, Eddie was the thing.
They also reminded us that Ronnie was a thing.
Yeah, but Ronnie had his own set of issues. Eddie at least was in relation to a speedster.
Okay. But anyway, so he's in the Speed Force and he gets chased by a Wraith, then he gets chased by Black Flash.
It's pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool because we've seen Black Flash appear on Legends and now he's appeared on this.
And you had the Inception-like hallway.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It was all fine. There's a couple of weird things about it that sort of because like Eddie, who's representing the Speed Force, like the people of the Speed Force, says like, oh yeah, you went back, we give you your speed back because we thought you'd gotten over your mother's death, but then you went back and changed it, you bugger, and created Flashpoint. And he's like, look, I was in a bad place. I just watched my dad die. He's like, we know, that's why we let you do it. And I'm like, wait, what?
I know.
What? You let him do it? And now you're complaining that he did it? What? Shut up.
I know. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a parent. It's like, look, I'm going to let you make the mistakes, but I'm going to bollock you for it anyway.
Maybe.
I could stop you, but I want to punish you. It's more fun.
So Jay eventually shows up to help as well, because Cisco has apparently informed him, and Jay comes out of the Speed Force. And they kept setting up all episode that a speedster might have to take Wally's place in the sort of eternal hell kind of trap, which Jay sort of heroically says, I'll do it because you have to go and solve this Flash. And so he does. And obviously, for Wally, it's personal. It's like his mother dying. It's like he's reliving that over and over again. Presumably, once they leave, it'll switch to whatever Jay's worst.
Yeah, I love that. Obviously, only he can see it because from our perspective, it's just an empty bed. So I think that's just so it is a very personal hell.
Because I was thinking it would maybe just be like even the room will change though once Delos leave. Like the whole thing will just because the reason why it's a hospital room is because that's where it happened, where Wally had this memory. Which meant it's a pretty common one probably. A lot of people probably remember like their worst moment might be someone in a hospital bed dying. It's pretty common.
It is.
But it could just be even people can die in lots of places. So Jay might remember.
They can, and Jay's had a much longer life to have many more deaths to choose from, I would imagine.
That's cold.
It
That's
is,
cold.
but it's also reality.
So we got that. Meanwhile, in the real world, we'll call it.
Because it is.
Yeah, Jessie is determined to find Savitar. She's got that bit of broken like suit blade that Barry gets stabbed with last episode, and she's trying to get everyone to go and find him. They speculate it's like the Iron Giant, which I like that he made that reference because I thought of the Iron Giant before he made the reference.
Fair enough.
They mentioned that try to find its like sort of main like the rest of the suit, and I'm like, that sounds like the Iron Giant. And then Cisco said, "Oh, it's like the Iron Giant." I'm like, me and Cisco
Is always on point with his references.
we're together. We're together on this. This is great. Good job, Cisco. But all of them basically go. I love that when Jesse first brings up, "Oh, can we use this to track where Savitar is?" Cisco immediately goes, "And if we find out where he is, what are you going to do with that information?" Yeah, we're not idiots. Don't be stupid. That's what got Wally trapped in the Speed Force in the first place. But she runs out. Although my favourite moment of the episode might be her decking HR. And
I don't know. I think for me, it's still a HR moment.
okay.
But it's after she says, "Oh, well, let's wait for the real Flash," and she storms off, and he goes, "Oops, I just put my foot in my mouth," and then he turns around as he's running after. He gives this look back at everyone else. Oh my! That look alone just destroyed me. I had to pause it just to laugh.
Oh, it was pretty good. I don't know. I mean, the punch itself was amusing, but it was when she steps down afterwards and goes, "That was oddly satisfying." It's kind of like she's always wanted to punch her dad for being a dick.
Yeah,
and she just got to kind of do it.
Not sure I can really blame her.
I know, because he is a dick. So yeah, HR went down, and what I think is interesting. So she does, luckily it is like the Iron Giant, and it magically floats towards Savitar. So she chases it, and she finds Savitar, and Savitar's all, "I knew you would come, Jesse," and that's all fine and well. But all I could think of was, he's being kind of lenient with her. He's not immediately punching her. He's not doing anything. It's almost like he likes Jesse.
Yeah. One thing that does throw me is he said, "I'm wondering if it is Jesse."
Are you thinking maybe Jesse now?
Well, he said Savitar says, "I've lived this before." If this is Wally, Wally's not here right now.
Oh, you're taking it literally as in he's lived this exact moment before. Right, okay.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if he means it quite that.
He probably doesn't. I'm just throwing it out there, though, just on the off chance. I want that on record.
Just in that he lived through the general thing going on. So that could be Barry, Wally, whoever was around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe it's even someone who's not a speedster yet. It could be. It's Cisco. It's Joe. It's everyone.
Not Eddie. Went back from the past and was like, "Hey, I'm giving you powers."
Hunter Zolomon.
Well,
Myra Queen.
One too far. Had to take it one too far.
Yeah, so she finds out though that there is technically a person under the suit. He's not just invincible. She stabs him with his own armor, and it's basically when she tells everyone at the end, they're basically, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's a reference to, Connor?
It's Predator. I may not have seen it, but I'm not a complete moron.
You may not have. If you've not, I know you hadn't seen it. You might not know where that was from.
On, that's pop culture. That's pop culture 101. That one.
All right, fine. So the Jesse stabs him, and they're like, "Oh, we can kill him. He's just a guy under the suit." Or it's actually HR that passes on the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously the other big main thing was obviously Barry gets Wally back, but the other main thing is so Iris and Barry's kind of like doubts throughout the episode. She seems to be doubting more than him, and he's upset about it. But he realizes that through the Speed Force trip that he needs to save her, and he needs to focus on that, and maybe being
kind of like this up until the final scene, and then it lost me.
What did you like about it before the final scene?
I liked that she was having like maybe. Was he going in there just because he was thrown, that because she said, "Oh, I'm not going to marry you," and then she was like, "Maybe I should have done," and I actually liked her going back and forth on the decision.
Which is funny, because I actually kind of liked that he seemed to finally take responsibility, because that thing at the start when everyone was paused and the camera was going around him and he was like, "This is actually still all my fault. This was Flashpoint. I messed all this up.
Exactly.
I need to do something about this." And I like that he finally felt like he was being a hero, and it wasn't just about someone he cares about. It was about, no, I've messed up. I need to start fixing things.
And obviously like Joe. points out to her, no, it's Barry. He'd have gone and saved him no matter what.
Yeah. And Joe even is like giving her good advice as well, just with the relationship, because she's looking at the newspaper, the future newspaper, and the old Reverse Flash vault, yes, and she's questioning, she's having doubts, and it sort of happens quite a few times. Actually, Joe, I like that when Barry's going to after he talks to Iris, Joe comes out and he tries to talk to him about it. He's like, Joe, this is really not the time. He's like, you might be a way to sacrifice yourself to possibly save Wally. Now is exactly the time we should be having this conversation.
Joe's the best.
Joe is the best. Joe nails it. And Joe would I'd want to lose both my sons, and it's like, man, tears may have been shed. They weren't, but they could have been. They could have been. But yeah, so the final scene, she seems to forgive for the whole.
As soon as she started that, I knew exactly where this was going. I was like, oh, I don't want this.
But Barry flips it, of course, and he's like, no, we should take a break because I need to focus on actually saving you and being the Flash. And Joe would have really saved it for me, though. I think they could have. They went for the whole bittersweet or they're breaking up for a while thing, and it's made me feel quite sad. For me, I would have reinforced the love a bit, actually. I would have had him say, I'll ask you again when you're not about to die. And that one line would have saved the whole thing for me, because it gave it this little sweet bit at the end.
I think that's my problem. It just feels like it's there for the sake of it. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't buy his reasoning entirely.
I get it to a point. Like, as I say, if they'd ended it like that, if they'd have thrown in a line where he's like, I'll ask you again because I want to when you're not about to die, right? And it could have been this sweet thing whereas all it really feels like now, as much as there's all these reasons, it just feels like a typical TV breakup where they're going to be back together eventually, but we're having the sad moment. Whereas they put that little sweet tinge in the end of it, just to go, yeah, we know we're going to end up back together, but I need to do it. If they'd just written it a little bit differently like that, it would have saved it for me.
I will say, it does make me even. I think I mentioned it last week, but even more, it makes me hope that she dies.
Okay.
Just from not because I don't want to lose her, but for a storytelling perspective, I really like the idea of now. If she dies now, he'd have to live with the guilt of spending these final months apart and not having made the most of the time with her.
I think she'll live for two reasons.
I think she probably will.
Well, for one reason, really. I've kind of splintered it into two in my head. One, I think it's just because it's been the thing they need to solve all season. It's the thing that they need to do. Yeah. Secondly, because last season of Arrow, we were told someone was dying at the start, and it just was a complete train wreck to the point where they hadn't even decided, and the actual death was shit. And we won't spoil it if you for some reason you're behind on Arrow and you think you're gonna catch up. Anything. You're really not. But I feel like just for the sake of being different and for Flash being a bit more of a hopeful show, he has to succeed.
I agree. I want him to succeed, but I can see real storytelling potential in the failure as well. Whereas with Arrow, it's just like, well, it's shit either way. So what's the point?
So here's why I want him to succeed more than just wanting to not lose Iris, obviously, right? This entire season is based on him failing.
So you want one success at the end? Yeah,
I don't want it to start season 4 with, failed even more, now it's even worse, it led to this. Like, it's just going to get more mopey and depressing if that's what happens.
Yeah, I completely buy that.
Right? Yeah. I want him to have the win at the end, because I feel like at the end of this season, as an audience, we have earned a win. Give us a win where he does not screw up.
Yeah, okay, I completely get that. I like I said, this is one weirdly where I'd kind of be okay either way. I mean, it would be disappointing, obviously, for the failure on multiple levels, but I can see a story out of it, so I'm okay with it if they choose to go that route.
Sure, I agree there is potential, but I think it would just be too mopey. Like, after this season, but it's my fault.
That is fair.
I caused Cisco's brother to die. Caitlin might be evil.
Joe does a lot, isn't there? It's a real concern.
Savitar's my problem. Point. You know, all this happened to Wally because of me. Like, there's so much.
There is a lot of shit.
So, yeah. Final thing, Jessie at the end decides to go to Earth 3 because Jay's taken Wally's place. She feels compelled to make sure Earth 3 is not without Flash. And as soon as she said that, all I could think was, what about Earth 2? Who replaced Joe on Earth 2?
I know. It's It's weird.
So yeah, I feel compelled to go and save Earth 3, but your dad is like struggling to maintain order on Earth 2.
I guess it's guilt that's compelling her on this one. It's a bit different.
It's one of those things though, where just the way they've written the dialogue, I'm like, yeah, but
it's questionable, isn't it?
It's really questionable.
I did like the Speed Force referring to Wally as a Flash. That was nice.
That was nice, yes. Even just Jessie as well, referring to herself as the real Flash of Earth 2. Like,
yeah, because she's never gone really as the Flash. We've never seen her refer to herself as that, really.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
It was an enjoyable episode. There was some good stuff, but obviously we've nitpicked things, and I think the weird thing about this one is it's entirely in service of the ongoing plot. There was almost nothing on its own that was like a full story that gave us like a conclusion in that sense. It was more just aligning all of the motivations going forward.
Yeah, but it did it very well.
Yeah, it did it fairly well.
I will say I'm a little bit concerned, actually, because next week is the musical episode. Now, I'm actually really looking forward to it, but the placement of it feels kind of weird. It kind of feels... I don't know. It feels like... Do we really need a sidetrack from the story this late? I don't know.
I don't know if we need a sidetrack from the story, but I don't think it'll actually be that bad. Mainly because most of the musical, all the fun stuff that you're looking forward to, all takes place in an alternate musical reality that's not the real world.
I get that. It's just, it feels like in the back of my mind, I'll be watching it going, I want to get on with it.
I think from a viewer perspective, you could argue that it's like breaking the flow, but from a character perspective, it's not. Because for the characters' perspective, all that's happening is, our friend Supergirl's showing up and she's in trouble. We need to try and help her. It's just another crisis on top of the pile of crisis that they've got to deal with.
If they play it like that, then I'd be much more okay with that.
Because it'll be fun inside the music dream, but the music dream is just not real. So it's in there.
Yes.
So had they all started singing and dancing in the real world, it'd have been like,
yeah, that would be much worse.
Yeah, but musicals next week, so you can look forward to that. Obviously, let us know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters are on the screen for everyday ramblings. That's us, guys. Stay out the Speed Force, and we will see you next time.